Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from York Racecourse here on Friday. It is August the 25th, 2017. Going to look at all the races on today's program from York here on day 3 of the eBoard meeting. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. It's an excellent card from York today. I think you're going to see some prices come in, I can tell you that for sure. So 6 races to look at. Let's get on to it, starting off with the 155, the first race from York. It is the Sky Bet first race special handicap, class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $86,000. I'm using the American currency because it's just easier for me, so don't get confused. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards, rated 0 to 105. Field of 16 horses going the 2,400 meter trip, or 1 mile and 1/2 on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 10 horse, Al Nakish, or Al Neksh, whatever you want to call the horse. I'm going to go 10 to 15 in the tricast, or the trifecta. My top 3, basically. 10 to 15. Top pick number 10, Al Nakish, Al Shakab owned, William Haggis trained. Frankie Dettori gets the leg up on this 4-year-old gelding at Zoffany. Most recently on the 30th of June at Newmarket, yielding ground 1.25 miles or 2,000 meters in a class 2 handicap. Horse finished 6th by 19 lengths that day. You know, I don't think this horse had the best of runs that day. With high weight, the highest of his career, he really couldn't get a good closing kick and just really walked under the line. Wasn't his day to win. I think off a little bit of a layoff with lower weight here, decent post draw. I think this horse will run back to a better run. Getting regular rider Frankie Dettori back up should really help. Start before came locally during May the 17th here at York. Soft ground, 1.25 miles in a class 2 handicap. Horse finished second by 5 lengths that day. Was 7 to 1 and closed up well in a field of 20 horses. Wasn't a half bad run. It was a very respectable run that day. And then at Doncaster, 21st of October, 1.25 miles class 3 handicap. This horse finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths that day. Didn't have the best of trips, was wide, had to steady a few times, really just didn't quicken up at all that day. The horse's last win came at Yarmouth last September, going 1.25 miles and a class 3 handicap. This horse won by 1.25 lengths, was 83 cents a dollar, the heavy favorite, and quickened up nicely. That was a great run. Go watch the replay. His last one wasn't very good, but his start on this turf course in May was very promising. I think he'll run a big one here today, getting a little bit of rest in the regular rider, Dettori back up. So watch out for this one at 10 to 1 to upset here today. So to recap my bets for the first, the 155 from York, it's the Sky Bet first race special handicap. I'm going to go with the 10 horse Al Nakish. I'm going to go 10 to 15 in the tricast of the trifecta. To race number 2 now, the 225 from York. It's the Weatherby's Hamilton Lonsdale Cup Stakes. It's a Group 2 race here, going for a purse of $246,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field 9 horses, going 3,200 meter trip, or 2 miles on this turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 7 horse, Sheikh Hazard Road. I'm going to go 719 in the tricast of the trifecta. 719, my top pick, number 7, Sheikh Hazard Road. Breaking from barrier number 1, David Simcock trains. Martin Harley, the regular rider on this one, gets the mount. 8-year-old gelding out of Dubawi. You know, this horse this year hasn't run that well, but he's due for a good race, and he always does well towards the end of the year. But most recently, about 25 days ago at Goodwood, Glorious Goodwood, 2 miles in the Goodwood Cup. This horse from a wide post draw finished 7th by 11 lengths that day. Really didn't do anything. It just wasn't his day to win. High weight also of 133 pounds didn't help a lot either. I think coming here, less weight, decent post draw from the rail. He should have a very good run. Start before at Ascot. Royal Ascot, the 22nd of June, 2.5 miles in the Gold Cup. Horse finished 6th by 9 3/4 lengths that day. With lower weight, decent post draw, this horse should have run a big one that day. He didn't. He really weakened out of it. Personally, I think the 2.5 miles might have been a little bit too long. Today getting the 2 miles, which I think is perfect for this horse. He should run a little bit better. And then at Maidan, March 25th, yielding ground, going 2 miles in the Dubai Gold Cup. Horse finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. Closed up a little bit that day, but Varsibad, the good French horse, just repeated and ran a hell of a race. But I want to go back to his races last fall, where he ran incredibly well. He won the Doncaster Cup very nicely, and his best race of last year, probably his best run lifetime, I would say, came in the long distance cup at Ascot last October. This horse won by half length at 11-1. He quickened up nicely and had a very easy victory that day, beating Quest for More. Some very tough horses that day. This horse is a great horse here. He's due for a victory, due for a good run. I think he'll get it today. And like I said, this horse does a lot better towards the end of the year campaign. He's going to begin it today, maybe next start in the Doncaster Cup, I would expect. But watch out for this horse for the very big ones. So to recount my bets for the second from York, the 225, it is the Weatherby's Hamilton Lonsdale Cup Stakes. Going to go with the 7-horse Shake Hazard Road. I'm going to go 719 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 3 now, the 3 o'clock from York. It is the Sky Bet City of York Stakes, Group 3, purse $215,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 20 horses tackling the distance of ground of 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 15 horse, Daban. I'm going to go 15-11-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 15-11-7. My top pick, number 15, Daban. 7-1, Frankie Dettori for John Gosden here. Most recently, this horse had a start on 21st of June at Ascot, Royal Ascot. 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Jersey Stakes. This horse finished 6 by 4 3/4 lengths that day. Really hit the wall. Wasn't his best runs. Didn't get the regular rider up that day of Dettori. It was a horse's worst run. I think coming here facing lesser quality horses, in my eyes, I think this horse will run a little bit better. Start before May the 7th at Newmarket. 1 mile in the 1,000 guineas. Horse finished third by 2 1/4 lengths that day behind Winter, behind the O'Brien 1-2. This horse, again, couldn't catch the 2 in front of him, but had a respectable third place finish that day. And then the Neil Gwynn Stakes at Newmarket during the Craven meeting, 7 furlongs on April the 19th. Horse won by 3/4 of a length. He quickened up nicely, had a very easy victory, and broke her maiden very nicely as a 2-year-old to Kempton on the all-weather at 9-2. Quickening up nicely. I think this horse, with the Tory back up today, facing lesser company horses, this horse should run a big one again today. 7-1. I'll take my chances with this one. So to recap my bets for the third from York, it's the 3 o'clock here. It's the Group 3 City of York Stakes. Gonna go with the number 15 horse, Daban. I'm going to go 15-11-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 4 now, the 335, it's the featured from York. It is the Coolmore Nunthorpe Stakes. It's a Group 1 race here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $430,500. That's in American currency again, so don't get confused. This race is for 2-year-olds and upwards. I have to say, before I get on to the rest of the conditions of this race, in North America, the 2-year-olds don't even face the older horses, ever. Never, never, never. I like seeing conditions like this outside of America, 2-year-olds and upwards. It's so bad in America that you don't even see 3-year-olds face older horses until, like, the Breeders' Cup, basically. Sometimes even after that, but like I said, it's very cool seeing 2-year-olds run against the older horses. With that being said, there's no 2-year-olds in this year's running of the Nunthorpe. So we have a field of 12 horses here going the distance of ground of 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course, and we have an American one in this one, Lady Aurelia, who, if she wins, I'll applaud her, but she's going to get hammered into the ground with the betting. And, I really handicap this race a lot. And, I think she'll set the pace, Lady Aurelia, I think. But I think the closers are going to have a very good advantage in this one. I really like Washington, D.C.'s chances in this one. So number 8, Washington, D.C. will be my top pick. If Lady Aurelia wins, I'll applaud her. But, as a handicapper, you want to find some prices, and I think you can win this one. So my top pick, number 8, Washington, D.C. I'm going to go 8-12-10. In the TriCast of the trifecta, 8-12-10. Top pick number 8, Washington, D.C. Kumar owned, Aidan O'Brien trains. Rider up is Ryan Moore. This horse is he's been around the block a few times. This horse is already a 4-year-old colt. Most recently, this horse had a start at Cura on the 13th of August. 6 furlongs in the Phoenix Sprint Stakes. Horse won by half length. He got his second victory of the year that day. As the favorite, he quickened up nicely, closing up well. It was a very easy race, kind of good confidence booster before coming to a race like this. Before that, this horse had a race at Glorious Goodwood, August 4th, 5 furlongs in the King George Stakes. Horse finished 5th by 5 lengths that day. This horse just did not do anything at all, was way out of it. Disappointing beat. Before that, finished 15th in the King Stand Stakes. That was a very disappointing run behind Lady Aurelia. This horse just not quick enough at all. Before that, 6th at Haydock, but had a decent second place finish in the Palace House Stakes at Newmarket in the early spring. Finished second by a neck, closed up well, just missed, but it wasn't a half bad run, and won a listed stakes in Ireland at Navan in late April, winning by a neck, closed up well. He's a closer here, and I think he could take good advantage of the fast-paced Lady Aurelia is going to run, and if he's 100% today, I think he'll run a big one. I'm going to take my chances with him at 15-1, so watch out for him. So to recap my bets for the 4th from York, the 335, it's the Group 1 Nunthorpe Stakes. Going to go with the 8-horse Washington, D.C. I'm going to go 8, 12, 10 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 5. But to tell you the truth, the 4:15, the 5th race from York, I'm actually not going to give you a pick or selection or tip, whatever you want to call it. This race, I don't feel very confident about it because you have a lot of horses making their first start or making their second start, and it's a very inconsistent field, and like I said, I don't feel very confident giving you a pick for this race, so we're going to actually skip over race number 5 and head on to race number 6, the finale, the 4:50 on today's program from York. The 4:50 now. The 6th race from York. It's the Nationwide Accident Repair Services Handicap. Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $86,000. It's for 3-year-olds only, rated 0 to 105. Field of 15 horses, going the distance of ground here of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 2 horse, Medehim. I'm going to go 278 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 278. My top pick, number 2, Medehim. 6-1. Frankie Dettor for Richard Hannon, who trains this 3-year-old colt out of Kodiak, owned by Al Shakab Racing. Most recently, on the 5th of August at Glorious Goodwood, soft ground, 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters in the Class 2 handicap. Horse finished 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths that day. This horse closed up a little bit at the end, but he didn't have the best of trips. I think with a better trip here today, he should run a bit better. Gets 1 pound more today than he carried last time out. Last time out was carrying 130, getting 131 today. Start before July 15th at Newmarket, 1 mile Class 2 handicap. This horse had a great run, won by 1.5 lengths. He quickened up nicely, had a very easy victory that day. But before that, Royal Ascot going a mile in a Class 2 handicap. This horse finished 14th by 22 lengths. We're still waiting for him to run under the finish line. He just really hit the wall. Wasn't his day to win. But before that, finished second at Goodwood in a very nice stakes race or handicap. He's the best horse by a mile. He faced tougher his last few. I think he'll run a big one here today, so watch out for him to upset. So to recap my bets for the 60, the 4:50 from York, it's the Nationwide Accident Repair Services Handicap. Going to go with the 2-horse Mendehim. Going to go 278 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody, and join me tomorrow for more York Ebor meeting selections and previews. Good luck, everybody.